Om Shanti. Today Baba is giving us the title of a spiritual warrior. And Baba says that we are at war with Maya all the time. And how do we conquer Maya? How do we win in this war? So Baba tells us that you constantly continue to follow Srimad and you become soul conscious and remember the Father. Wake up every morning and practice staying in remembrance, and you will gain victory over Maya. You will be saved from any wrong type of thinking. The sweet method of remembrance will make you into conquerors of Maya. Now, this is such a simple method for becoming conquerors of Maya. Now, you see that many a times we get up in the morning, but am I practicing soul consciousness and staying in the remembrance of Baba? Because I have seen that many times children will get up in the morning, but they are half drowsy, or they just sit through Amrit Vela and then they sleep. Or, even if they don't go to sleep, still the practice that we need to do is not there. And what is important is the practice. Yes, because we are being obedient and we are getting up at Amrit Vela is a good thing, because obedience also has some marks. But then obedience is the method to shift your sanskar. Obedience in itself will not shift sanskar. When you get up in the morning and you fully obey, because Baba says that, we have to practice being soul conscious and sit in remembrance of Baba. And you see that this practice, that I am a soul and my Baba is Shiv Baba, and whatever are my Baba's sanskars are my sanskars. Whatever are my Baba's virtues are my virtues. Whatever are my Baba's powers are my powers. So, sitting before Baba and in the awareness that I am Baba's child and I'm just like my Baba, and emerging those latent virtues, powers and sanskars in me, which are, which have been pushed away by Maya, which have now receded to the background. When I sit and when I see myself in front of Baba and I see myself as Baba's child and I emerge those qualities again in my awareness, then what happens is I am emerging my sanskars that are just like my Baba. And when I do that, so you see that just like you use a mirror in the morning and you see your face in the mirror and you check for blemishes, you check for, any kind of dirt or stain or, and then you remove it. So Baba is also the mirror of my perfect state, my original state. And Baba is the, reference point for what I'm actually like. And when I sit in front of Baba in the morning, and then I see Baba's sanskars, Baba's virtues, Baba's powers, Baba's awareness, attitude, and I check mine, in comparison with Baba, and then I correct myself because I'm just like my Baba. Now you see that anybody who has no access to the mirror, even if they all through the day they try to correct their face and features, they won't be able to do it. Yes. And that is why standing in front of the mirror is so important. And you see, even if the physical features or face didn't get corrected, it's not a big deal. Yes, but then you see, this mirror is so important that you have to sit before Baba every morning and come to your original form, original stage, original qualities, original sanskars. And I have seen that even when I was not in Gyan, sometimes I would spend the whole day, and after spending the whole day, I would make many mistakes of speech or actions in the day. And then it would never occur to me that I made this mistake. But in the night, when I went to sleep, there was something that triggered in me when it was all quiet. And then I could sometimes feel that no, what I said today was wrong, or what I did today was wrong, and I shouldn't do it. But then the next day, that would fizzle out. And when I would again go to college or again be with friends, uh, that realization won't be that strong. And I always thought, what is it between, what goes on between, that time when I feel things differently and the next morning, why does it fizzle out? And I used to think about this even before Gyan. And when I came into Gyan, then I understood that when you're body conscious, then you are, all your 63 births of sanskars are in an emerged state. And at that time, you cannot see them. You don't have the ability to discern them because they are so naturally there. But how do you see your body consciousness or see your sanskars, and how do you correct them? Only when you sit in front of Baba. And when you sit in front of, and even when we listen to Baba's Murli, then also you see there are many things which maybe 10 people have told you that this was not the way to do this, or you made a mistake, but then you just argued with them and didn't agree with them. But then you listen to Baba's Murli, and then you realize that no, this was not okay. Or you realize, what am I not doing which I should do? And all of it starts making sense. So, Baba's Murli and sitting in front of Baba in the morning is very, very important to emerge the original sanskars that we have within ourselves. And Baba says that this is the only method. This is an easy method. It's not difficult, but there is a lot of resistance from Maya. First, Maya doesn't allow you to get up. Then it will make you drowsy. Then, so you have to win over. You have to win over this sleepiness. You have to win over this lack of attention. And you have to do this practice of sitting before Baba and seeing yourself as you really are. And then Baba says, when you do that, then what happens is, when your original sanskars are emerged, then your thoughts, words, and acts will flow naturally in accordance with your original sanskars. This is what Baba clarifies in the blessing. So you see, Baba today tells us the connection between consciousness and blessings, consciousness and thoughts, words, and actions. So when you are soul conscious, when your sanskars of purity and sanskars of benevolence and sanskars of giving blessings are emerged, then your thought, word, and act will be likewise. And it is very interesting in the blessing that Baba tells us his sanskars. Yes, so you see, we know from knowledge that just like I, the soul, Baba also has a mind, Baba also has intellect, and Baba also has sanskars. Yes, and Baba today says that my sanskar is that I'm benevolent. My sanskar is that I bring benefit to everybody. Baba says, my sanskar is to be the merciful one. My sanskar is to uplift everybody and to give blessings to everybody. And you see, this knowledge is so important. And Baba tells us that nobody in the world knows me as I am. And you are the only children who know me as I am, because I introduce myself to you. And we know what is there in Baba's mind. What is Baba's mind like? Yes, so Baba's mind is the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of purity. That is Baba's mind. And what is Baba's buddhi? Baba's buddhi is full of Shrimat and knowledge. And then what is Baba's sanskar? So today it is very, very interesting that Baba is clarifying his sanskar. So Baba is called Vishwa Kalyankari because benevolence or doing kalyan is his sanskar. Baba is Rahim Dil, he is the merciful one. Baba is the one who has the bhavna to always uplift. Yes, that is Baba's sanskar. And Baba has the sanskar of always giving blessings. And Baba says, when you, and I have given you the knowledge that you are my child. And these are your sanskars also. Your mind is also like my mind. Your buddhi is also like my buddhi. So when I sit in the awareness that this is my Baba and I am his child and his qualities are my qualities, then I start emerging the qualities that are latent inside me. And when I do that, then my thoughts, words, and actions, they follow accordingly. Because as is my sanskar, so is my thought, word, and act. And Baba says that the way to win over Maya is, so how do you think Maya makes its entry in our life? What is the doorway for Maya? Thoughts. Yes, so weak thought, negative thought, waste thought, these are the doors of Maya. And everything starts with a thought. Thought is the most, thought is the subtlest when it comes to karma. So thought is the first level of karma. And Baba says that if you don't do this work for yourself, if you don't emerge your Ishwariya or godly sanskars in the morning, then what happens is your thoughts cannot be corrected. You will have weak, wasteful, or negative thoughts. And when there is a thought, then, slowly, gradually, that thought builds up into a feeling and then attitude, and then it will come into action. And you will create vikarma. So Baba says that if you follow Shrimat and you do this inner work for yourself in the morning, absorb my sanskars or emerge your own divine sanskars, godly sanskars, then all through the day, your thoughts will not be the doorway to Maya. And this is how Maya cannot defeat you. And this is why, having yoga with Baba is so important. Yes, sometimes you think that it's okay, I can change my thought, or I can just change my word or behavior. Yes, you plan so much, don't you? Many times we plan that today I will think this or speak this or act like this, but then there's not too much success if there's not that foundation of good remembrance of Baba. And if there is a good foundation, then there is success. Then whatever thoughts you want to create, you can. You are the master. So Baba says that this is how you can conquer Maya. And Baba says that this is war. And if you don't conquer Maya, then you have this opportunity to change from a human to a deity, but you might miss it. Yes, you might miss having an elevated status in the new world. And the only way in which we can miss this opportunity is if we don't follow Baba's Shrimat. And the primary Shrimat is do the work of Baba's remembrance in the morning, being soul conscious, sitting in Baba's remembrance and emerging virtues, powers, and emerging our godly and divine sanskars that are latent within us. And in my journey, two things have helped me very much. One thing is when I am sitting with myself or doing something, I very consciously try to remember that I try to make a distinction between what is my original sanskar and what is my acquired sanskar. So there are many times when the acquired sanskar is very active because, of course, 63 births of sanskars have not been burnt. And when it is active, I make a distinction that, yes, this is there, but it is not mine. I don't feed it by saying this is my sanskar. And I disown it. I say this is Ravan sanskar and I have to be wary of it. And I emerge, one thing is this is not your sanskar, but the real work is you very consciously emerge your original sanskar. And with the foundation of Amrit Vela, you are able to do that. And because of that, I have been saved from falling into the trap of Maya many a times. And what is Maya? How does Maya make you fall into its trap? Maya will make you think, speak, and act the way you shouldn't. Yes. And the thing, many times you think, speak, and act in a manner that you regret later. And I have been saved from doing that because of this one practice of Amrit Vela. And then, of course, Amrit Vela's foundation is important, but then all through the day, you have to be conscious also. Because your acquired sanskar will sometimes talk a lot. And then, if you have this sanskar, especially, if this sanskar of going into right and wrong, yes, vis-a-vis being peaceful. Yes, so many a times you get caught up in right and wrong, and then you go into, what is just, what is unjust, and what is right and what is wrong, and whether somebody should do this or shouldn't do this. And then, you have to, because there is that foundation of your original sanskars emerging in Amrit Vela, you are able to, if you are conscious enough, you will tell yourself, just keep quiet and be peaceful. And that is none of your business. So that is what you have to do always. Because when you start doing this, then you get reactionary, reactive, and you act and speak in a manner that you regret later. So I have a life which has very less regrets. And that is because of this one practice. And then second thing which I have very much practiced is, when I see somebody, even if I have, there is a karmic settlement and there is an issue with them. So there are lots of issues. You see, you live in a society, you live in a family, and then there are so many things that somebody is doing or trying to do to harm you. And then you have to negotiate with them, or you have to be in the same space with them. There is communication, and there is, this coming together. And then what I do at that time is, I'm very conscious that this soul is pure, and whatever they are doing is their sanskar. I make a distinction between that, and I have respect for the person, and I deal with the situation. And in that, what happens is, when I'm communicating or negotiating, I don't cross the line. I stay respectful. So, it's very important that you don't cross the line. And when you're overwhelmed by emotions of hurt or anger or anything, then you tend to cross the line. But when you just hold in your awareness that this is a soul, this is a brother, and I have got nothing against this brother, and I have deep love for this soul, but there's an issue, and we are just dealing with that issue. So you have to make a distinction between the person and the behavior, and have respect for the person and deal with the behavior. So when you do that, then what happens is, you don't fall into the trap of Maya. Maya makes you, most people, if you look at, there are many people who are hurt by what somebody did to them, and there are many people who are in deep regret of how they reacted to it. So sometimes, you have to be very cautious of this trap of Maya, that sometimes, somebody does something, and then you react so badly that you repent your reaction more than their action. So this has to be this, or even if you don't realize it, karma, that's karma, and it will backfire. So that is something that Baba is making us very wary about today, and not falling into the trap of Maya. And also, if you do this inner work of remembering Baba and remembering who you really are, then all through the day, you will also pay a lot of attention to what you should proactively think, speak, and talk about, do about. You will not just not react, but you will be choosing your actions in alignment with Shiv Baba's directions. So this is also very important. And all of this is effort, very conscious effort. So this is there. And then so there is not giving sorrow, there is not taking sorrow, there is not reacting, but there is not also chickening out. So you have to deal with whatever situation is there. You cannot just avoid it. I remember there was this one person and he said, I hate conflict. So I said, what do you do when there is a situation of conflict? So he said, I run away. So I said, you cannot run away. Because you see, if you run away, then it runs after you. So you have to, you cannot avoid, you have to deal with it. And in order to deal with it, so just like giving sorrow is a sin, taking sorrow is also a sin. So you have to be very careful to not take sorrow also. So, and then you have to be wary of not reacting, but you also have to be wary of not running away because of fear. Because if you run away because of fear, then that situation will come up many times in your life until you face that fear. So you cannot run away from, if there is a situation that somebody is creating, you don't have to react and be respectful, don't cross the line, don't do something wrong. And that is one thing you have to be careful about, but also you do what is needful. And you speak the right words and do negotiate in the right manner. And then, you have to deal with it in the right manner. And that is also very important. So, this is what Baba is talking about. And Maya tricks us in both ways. Maya makes us react, Maya makes us chicken out, Maya makes us, take sorrow, give sorrow. And all of that is karma created by me. And I will have to suffer for that. So, Baba says that in this Brahmin life, Amrit Vela meditation is a must. And not just getting up, because that is, not even 10%. Of course, then, sleeping is not better than getting up. So you get up, but then even if you're sleepy, but then fight that sleep and be soul conscious. Devise methods to keep yourself awake in Amrit Vela. There's one Mata, she was yesterday telling me that, Didi, for 5 days, I do very good Amrit Vela in awake state, and then I am very sleepy. Yes. So after that, I just, I get up, but I'm drowsy, drowsy, drowsy. And then another 5 days, I sit like this, and then I go to sleep the 6th day. So, how is this pattern going to be corrected? So, I told her, check all through the day. What are you doing? What are you saying? What are you thinking? What is your time of sleep? What is all through the day? What are you doing that is making you sleepy in the morning? And you have to devise methods. If you feel that eating food late in the night makes you sleepy, then eat food early. Yes, have your food by 6. If you have any other thing, so, and if you sleep, if you get up and if you stay awake until late, after 10, you are not going to have a good Amrit Vela. And even if you're sleeping, trying to sleep at 10, if you have burdened yourself with wasteful thoughts and actions during the day, too much of consumption of information and such things, then also your sleep will not be complete and rested in 6 hours. So, in order to be Mayajit, you have to have a game plan. You cannot be Mayajit just like that. And you see, this is war. Baba says, you are spiritual warriors, and it is not a small term. And do you know what a warrior does? So, a warrior, if you look at the life of a life of a warrior has very less wars. Yes, if you talk to anybody in the defense, then many people in the defense have never been at war. They have never seen a war, but they are called warriors. Why? because they are always prepared for war. And that preparation, that preparedness, that is what makes you a warrior. Maya will come 2 times, 3 times in a day, or, maybe not even come for 5, 6 days. And then if the person who is posted on the border, he becomes slack and he doesn't, he forgets to use his weapons, then what? Then, suddenly there is a attack, and then what do you do? So it is that regular preparation, that preparedness, that whenever there is an attack, I can defeat it. Because the attack will come. Even if it has not come now, you know that it will come. And that is what makes you a warrior. And that is why Baba says, we children have to be always prepared with our virtues, powers, with our, elevated sanskars, so that never ever does a weak thought, a negative thought, or, a waste thought gain force. Even if it arises, you are able to win over it. So this is what Baba says. And then yesterday we were talking about all souls not being equal and every soul having a separate part. And that is what Baba is saying today. So Baba says that no two souls are the same. The recorded parts are not the same. And we do not have the same strength. And this is a drama. And we actors are all number wise in it. Yes, we are all number wise. And this word number wise is very interesting because it means that you have to be wise about your number. If we are all number wise, you have to be very wise and know what your number is. And what is your number? So Baba says we are all number wise, and we children who are studying from Baba, we are the number ones. We are the hero actors. And have you ever seen that in a limited drama, in a stage drama, the hero is looking at his co-actor for cue? No. The hero takes the lead. Yes. And the co-actor follows. So Baba says here also, you never compare yourself with anybody. You don't say, I did this because they are doing it. No. Even if nobody is doing it, you are the one who has to initiate it. So, who are heroes? Those who take the initiative. And you have to know that you are the hero. Yes, you don't take permissions. You don't compare, you don't follow. You lead. You take the initiative. Yes. And yes, when you are in a group, you discuss. But then you don't allow anybody's weak thoughts to influence you. So whether it comes to Purusharth or whether it comes to Seva, because these are the two main aspects of Brahmin life. And you should know that you are the hero. You have to call the shots. Yes. And I remember there was this one Mata, and her husband, he came to the center and he was very miffed that she was coming for course and class. And he told, if she had just told me and come, I wouldn't be angry. But she doesn't tell me. She doesn't inform me, and she just comes. So when that Mata was asked, so the Mata was sitting, and then the husband said, why don't you just ask me? So she said, I don't think I need to ask. That's why I don't ask. This is about my life, my time. my effort, I'm a soul, I have to do what I have to do for myself. And I will not ask you. And she said, I will ask you when it comes to what has to be cooked for lunch or what do we have to buy for home, or but this is not about you. And she, that day I knew she would be great. And yes, until today we see that. So that these are the things. So you must know that you are the hero actor. You have to take the initiative. You have to, when it comes to seva and purusharth, you lead. When it comes to other things, you, even in seva, you have to have some agreement with the cooperative souls, those who are with you in seva. But if you take the lead and you know that they will follow, then you take the lead anyway. And when it comes to seva and purusharth, don't be the follower in anything. Okay? Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay, by you speak.
Hanji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So I just have a question. So today you taught that we cannot avoid the conflict and fear and have to face it, else it will come back. We have also been taught that in case of our karmic settlements with our the relationships we are having in this logic world, we have to face the person with whom our karmic account needs to be settled, and we cannot run away from that. We have also been taught that we should stay away from being a part of ninda or any kind of vices being undertaken in front of us. So I'm a bit confused that if a person is with whom we have a relationship and the same person is undertaking some kind of ninda, we should face it, we should explain the person.
No, you see, it's very simple. You don't have to correct them, but you have to speak your mind also. Yes, just like that person is speaking against somebody, you also, with a lot of respect, you say, this is my opinion. So when you start having these conversations, then slowly, there is a bridge where they start understanding. Either they understand you are not on the same page with them, or they understand that they are doing something which they should correct. So this is how you deal with it. So, for example, when I am in such a setting and somebody is, so I'll tell you one thing. There was this one person, and she told me that she lives in a room with her roommate, and the roommate and she, they both came to the center. And then this person told me, Didi, she's not telling you, but she takes depression pills. So I told her that if I were in your position, I wouldn't tell this to, I wouldn't say this, because you have access to that private information because you are sharing a room with her. And this is not okay that you share what you have access to in such a private setting publicly. So I told her that if I were you, I wouldn't do that. But it's okay. Maybe you have your own thought process. And then she said, sorry, Didi, I understand. I shouldn't be saying it. So, but if you say, what kind of a person are you? You are defaming, then that person would get, his ego will be hurt, or they would get defensive. But if you just put forward your point, and that's why respect is very important. Because, when you have made that distinction between a person and a behavior, you have respect for the person, but you're just talking about the behavior. And you are not rejecting it. You're just giving your opinion on what you would have done in this place. And that changes the whole paradigm. Yes, that changes conflict into communication. Okay? Om Shanti. Yes, Vandana Ben. Anji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
This week I am practicing talking to myself, correcting thoughts, coming back to that original thoughts which Baba has given us. And still I have reached at this phase and still working on it. In thoughts and words, it is same, but still in actions, it is needed to be corrected somewhere. So I have understood that practicing more remembrance of Baba will help in this, and trying to be connected with Brahmin family whole day through some classes, meditation, and so that my thoughts don't wander anywhere. And practicing looking like souls, everybody, and responding them very well in that way. And so they are now very soft and trying to listen, but little capacity has developed.
Yes. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Om Shanti. Anji.
Shanti
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
I have one question regarding yesterday's class. You said any obstacle in Brahmin life is a test. So when the test comes till it goes, you said that the checkpoint is whether I was in remembrance or not. Okay. So Didi, right now I'm passing through a test, and I keep on emerging Baba's presence. But then I realized that even though I keep on remembering him, but there are phases, there are times when I get down, when tears roll down my eyes. So I just wanted to ask, what should be my approach at that time?
So you see that. So if you, so you see those tears are rolling down after that whole thing has consumed you. Yes, it is not happening instantly, right? So thought is, this tears rolling down is action. So thought to feeling to action, that whole process is happening. So you have to be more introverted and start checking it at the thought level, feelings level. Yes, so it's not just, Baba, 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 but you have to check what is in my heart. Yes, it is always, we are very bahyamukhi. So be a more introverted and keep asking yourself, what am I thinking right now? What are my feelings? Start checking those. And you see, the sign of Yog Yukt is Yukti Yukt. So when you are Yog Yukt, your thoughts, your feelings will be peaceful, benevolent. These are the signs. So if you keep checking that, then you will know that you're not in yoga. Yes, it's just that we think that I'm in remembrance, but that remembrance is not yad, it is faryad. So that is where the problem is lying. So that's okay. Most of us are in that situation. So that's okay. But from here, you have to again, pay more attention to this foundation of Amrit Vela, and having this, in Amrit Vela, coming to that place where you feel your sanskars, your qualities, your powers as the same as Baba. So start from there again. So this is how it will get better. Okay. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om
Hanji,
Shanti.
sister.
Today you explained the meaning of spiritual warrior. We have been reading in Murli, listening to about spiritual warrior. So it is preparedness of, like warrior is preparedness for war, and spiritual warrior, we are prepared for Maya's attack.
Yes.
But in peaceful times, we think we are prepared, but when actually Maya comes, we get caught unawares.
Yes.
So, and later on, you really regret that. Why did you? We have learned to be, not to react, but to respond. Yukti yukt and yog yukt. But somehow I've noticed, observing myself, that I mean, it really disappears.
So Baba has answered that the key is good Amrit Vela. There is no other method. That is the only method. Good Amrit Vela will only save you from weak thoughts, and that will save you from falling into the trap of Maya. That's a very clear thing that Baba has told today. Okay.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you.